Welcome to my keyboard world. Let me explain and show you some stuff. Right now we're loading a large file. I don't know, can you see the screen? Camera?
You guys are done.
It's 108 megabytes of sound. It's all different sample data. And every day I load in different sets. So every day's another experience. Matter of fact, I'll show you Exhibit A.
Okay.
These are all the sets we've done, starting in Phoenix, Arizona. Every day, neatly categorized by my ace tech, Terry Fox, who you'll meet in a little while. Every day features something different. And the book goes through all the different legs and through Europe and America and Japan and up until, actually, let's see where we're up until. We're up until Offenbach.
Yeah.
So he's got some pages left for the rest of the tour. So what happens is every day when I walk in, I take a look at the set and I see what songs there are and I try to find something that's similar. And then I go into my hard drive on my keyboard and I say, okay, well I've got to build this set. And it's a little bit of a technical dance to make it happen, but it's my job. So that's my lovely book. And now this thing is loaded with stuff. And what I do, once everything is all set up, I'll take the entire night of music and I'll start on like sound 200. So I punch in 200 and like it says pull top.
We can't see the monitor very well, so.
Oh, okay. So right now I'm on 200 and it says pull top.
Okay.
So when I walk onto the stage, I can go and have that. And then for every sound, I step on my pedal. I have a bunch of pedals down here. And what they do is this pedal down here, this is the one that changes through all the different sounds. So I can go from that to... So the whole keyboard completely changes every time I step on the pedal. And I go through so many different sounds during the course of a night.
Plugged in.
So like for instance, Pull Me Under uses about, before it's all done, uses like 19 sounds. And at the end, you know the part that goes... something. A lot of times I'll split the keyboard, so I'll have like strings up here. And as I go down, it changes back to organ.
Okay.
So I can accomplish doing that thing that goes all that, but at the same time play the strings, which I don't think any other keyboard player actually did in this band. But so the whole night I stepped through like hundreds of patches for all the different sounds that are there. And a lot of the samples that you hear, like this kind of stuff, are on specific keys. So that sample's here. So I get to that part. Or like this one is... But the cool thing about this is that when I hit it, I've got it on a delay, so I can hit the bell, and after the bell happens, the sample will happen like this. Watch. So I'm triggering all kinds of wild stuff all throughout the night, and play a couple of the sounds, you know. So, and of course, not to forget my swiveling world here as we move around. And
some guys in Holland built it, right?
Yes, this is a guy, his name is Patrick, and he's from Holland, and he built me this amazing stand. He's a steel builder, and he loves Dream Theater. Have you met him before?
No, I just read it on the net.
We'll meet him soon.
Yeah.
I think he might be coming tonight. But he's definitely coming to the next gig. But Patrick started to communicate with me through my forum, actually. I had this idea about how I wanted to move around a little bit more.
Okay.
So one of his friends, Kuhn, his name is, wrote me a letter and said he has a friend who's a steel builder and he wants to build you a stand. So I was like,
Okay.
oh, that sounds very nice, whatever.
Go for it.
I didn't really even
Yeah.
believe it at that point. Next thing I know, this guy's sending me like, what are the dimensions? How high do you want it? How heavy is the keyboard? Where exactly do you want your pedals?
Yeah.
And so I started to take pictures of like where I wanted to step to have my pedals.
Yeah.
And I put, I like positioned my arms at the perfect height so I could, get to the keyboard, and I measured the distance, and I sent him all this stuff, and he's writing me back with more details and more
Yeah.
specifications. Next thing I know, we were preparing for the beginning of the tour, and he sent me this stand in a big crate,
Really?
and we set it up, and it was perfect from the very first second. I mean,
Amazing.
from the moment I set it up, the stand was absolutely perfect.
This
I mean,
is
it's the
amazing.
greatest thing because it can go, 360 degrees around.
Yeah.
This stand actually, if I go too far, will pull the cables too far.
Yeah.
Because the way the cables work is that as it goes around, it'll reach a point where you go, okay, that's enough. Okay?
Yeah.
But the next, maybe not this very next model, which we're expecting soon, but the one after that, we're arranging so I can just throw the thing and not have to worry about it
Great.
spinning and spinning around.
Okay.
Which would be very cool. So, and while I'm standing right at the keyboard, I should show you what I do with these, with this thing, because a lot of people ask me about
Yeah.
that. It's like if I'm playing a lead. First of all, I've got a couple of wheels here. Usually I use the pitch wheel. This is just for like. And this
Okay.
ribbon can do a lot of things. And one of the things it can do is do pitch as well. So I can do like a vibrato kind of thing. Or like massive kind of whammy bends, I like to do these very kind of strange trills on it, so I play a note. There you go. So it's really very kind of slippery, and
Incredible.
matter of fact, Terry sprays the thing so my hand can glide very smoothly on the ribbon.
Very cool.
So, and also I've got a bunch of sliders which I use to do crossfades and things like that, like at the beginning of what is that song? Take the Time. I've got a slider which will.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll put in the name of the sound, like slider H will do the volume. So it's a lot of little tricks going on. A lot of pre-production in Dream Theater World
Okay.
in my space. And over here, these are all my other toys. I've got a bunch of Kurzweil racks. Some of the stuff that you see are spares. Like for instance, this is a spare Kurzweil right now, and this is my mixer with inputs for all the instruments I use plus the spares. This is the one that's being used tonight. These are a couple of disk drives where we back up some of the Triton sample information. The Triton down here, the Korg Triton, is actually playing some of like the 6 o'clock samples and Take the Time samples. And one of them is a spare and one of them I'm using. And then I'm using this too. So in total, I'm using my keyboard, I'm using 2 Kurzweil 2600 racks, and I use 1 Triton rack. And you had asked me before what I do with the Karma. The Karma keyboard, actually they don't make this in a rack. So, but when we got this keyboard into the studio, it was like the inspiration for some of the 6 Degrees stuff, some of the big themes.
Yeah.
So I decided we definitely needed it on the road. So that's why it's sitting there. It doesn't need to be played physically, but I talk to it via MIDI from my controller.
Okay.
So actually you're hearing it a lot, like the really, really gigantic orchestral things. A lot of it came out of that.
Okay.
So and that's my rig. And then, yes. Okay. And then just talking about the pedals for a second. So this is my sustain pedal, and this is my program change pedal. This pedal over here will do like the kind of like wah-wah type of stuff. And this pedal does my Leslie simulation. It's kind of like a rotary speaker on and off. But then if I move the whole keyboard over here, I have exactly the same
The same there.
thing.
Right.
So I've got my sustain and my patch change, my wah, and my rotary. And if I'm lucky, I won't trip and kill myself on all the pedals. I've kind of learned with my eyes shut where everything is.
Very cool.
And that's it.
Okay. Thank
All
you for
right.
it.